I thought the first half of the match, I thought Marquette had us on our heels with their defensive plays. I mean, they were just making some incredible defensive plays. Their right backs were their setter and Fody. I mean, the number of digs that they had out of that right back position is not something that you see very much. I felt like we were, maybe nerves were a little bit strong on our side for the first half of the match. And I felt like we were probably getting outworked a little bit in transition. I think the first set, I don't think they had a first ball kill on side out, but they were winning some rallies, and I just felt like they were outworking us. And but we made great charges down the stretch of each of those set 1, set 2, and set 3, and won 2 of those. And our team didn't give up on themselves in those moments. I mean, we're playing from behind all 3 of those first sets. And then I thought our offense kind of got going the latter part of set 3 and into set 4. I thought these two, MJ and Izzy, did settle down and got a little bit more comfortable with their choices and their location. And our hitters were working harder. Marquette was forcing us to do that. And to play in front of this kind of crowd and in this type of environment was great.
Coach, for you and the players, Carly and I estimated it was like 70-30, Wisconsin and Marquette. Maybe people will argue with that, but I thought it was 70-30. Such a great fan base to come from all over the state to not only cheer for the Golden Eagles, but really had a great Badger representation. What does it say about your program and what it has become?
Yeah, I don't know what the percentage was. I will tell you this, that it did not feel that because of so many of Marquette's fans around the court. So down there on the court, it felt way more Marquette fans is what we could hear. It's what it felt like was it wasn't just people that were just there to watch a spectacle. I mean, it felt like the fans were into the match and really getting into it, which is what you hope. And I can't imagine I'm sure there was quite a few people that this was their first volleyball match, and I can't believe that this would be their last one with what they saw. But the growth of this sport in this state. We've got a lot of high school coaches, a lot of club coaches that have worked really hard at promoting this sport and developing the young kids, and they deserve a lot of credit for what was today.
Yeah, I mean, we knew there was going to be a lot of people, and we really wanted to take it in. Like you said, around the court, being surrounded by blue, and especially the students, it was loud in there. But it's incredible to just look around, especially before the game, taking it all in and just seeing the growth of the sport. Even in my 5 years of playing here, watching the fan base grow and watching that field house fill up every single night and coming to an even bigger stadium and still filling it up, it's just incredible, especially with 2 teams in the same state. Really making a run for it and growing the sport in Wisconsin, which is just, I feel like, not what people would think of when they think of athletics. So it's just incredible to see.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about the charges your team made at the end of those sets. Specifically that third set, down 24-21 and rattling off 5 straight points. What did you see from your team there in terms of their resiliency?
We've done that a few times this season. I mean, we're only, about 3.5 weeks in, but that wasn't the first time that we've made a charge right there. I think it shows your character. When your back's against the wall, do you sit there and you fold, or do you start blaming, or do you come out swinging and trying to set the world on fire? And, I thought our fight when we were down was special. We had a tough time coming out of the gates, but we hung in there and gave ourselves a chance.
This one's for MJ, going off of that, obviously, third set at the end. It got really, really loud, as you were saying. It was probably sort of the loudest time I could hear from my spot in the press box. And I'm wondering, you just kept getting serve after serve in, even when there was some struggles on the serve for the team overall tonight. What was your kind of going through your head at that point and sort of having to, fight off 3 set points to keep you guys alive and then eventually getting you over the top?
Yeah, I think that just speaks to how we train. A lot of mindfulness, a lot of just being prepared for the moment. Like those are the moments where you're either ready or you're not. And I think that shows what we work on in the gym. I think that shows the type of training that goes into like being in the certain headspace. And I'm also surrounded by a team that has my back. So I know that I don't have to be perfect. And we're just going to find by any means possible.
Kelly, and for the setters too, I just kind of want to get your thoughts on what Anna gave you tonight. This was I'll check and see if this was maybe one of her higher hitting percentages, but she had some impactful moments. I kind of want to get your thoughts on her impact on the match, as well as you, MJ, and Izzy, your thoughts too.
Anna Smrek?
Yes.
I thought late when we started getting some separation, she was kind of a big part of it, and came up with some big time blocks and big moments and some big time kills down the stretch. And I don't think early on she was getting great hand contact on the ball. I think she was a player that was rush, and she settled down and got in there and took really good swings when the ball was in her wheelhouse, and when it wasn't, going in there and trying to put it where they're not. She was big down the stretch.
I agree with that. Ditto.
Izzy, you mentioned that you've kind of noticed the growth of the fan base just in your 5 years here. I mean, other than matches like these and obviously the one at the Kohl Center last year, what are some examples of that? And how have you kind of seen it grow just maybe in just your normal life?
Media day for the Big Ten was huge. This is the second year of that. Watching the number of games on television grow from what we thought was incredible last year to this year, it's giving more people access to the game. Like you said, a lot of people here tonight probably have never seen a game before. That's the same as somebody sitting on their couch and flipping through the channels and turning on a volleyball game and instantly being interested, and that's another new fan, and that's another new fan. And it can just keep growing in that way if you give people access to it so they don't have to go out of their way to learn about the sport. So the TV growth is huge. Tough games are obviously great to see, but everybody's just tuning in no matter what if you just keep them televised and keep them accessible for people all around the country.
For the two players, obviously, Kelly was touching on the fact that Marquette was getting a lot of digs and a lot of ups on some shots that, wasn't always falling. What do you have to do sort of as a setter running the offense to kind of keep the rest of the team, I guess, calm, for lack of a better word, and how you kind of, you mentioned talking about the focusing in, but is that kind of what was going through your head during some of those really long rallies and points?
Like you said, just working in transition, every single ball, expecting for them to get it up and going right back to work. You can't hit a ball and start cheering for yourself right away, but cheer after the work is done. So turning and right away, getting back into blocking and knowing you have another job to do, and I think our hitters did a really good job at that by the end of the match.
I think also just just not getting frustrated with it. It's just going to take a couple more times for the ball to go down. But they played some great defense and a great match, and you just got to stay the course. You can't do anything special. There's no 2-point play. You just keep at them.
Kelly, this match at Fiserv was a long time coming. The build up for it, playing off the growth of the game and this rivalry. What do you want to see next? What's the next step?
Florida. We got a match on Sunday, but I'll tell you what I told the team, I think, earlier today is, when you come out here and you have 17,000 or 18,000, whatever it is take it in, to take it in and then block it out and let's worry about what's on the court. But I said at some point when they come back here, when they're alums, they'll come back and this won't be special anymore. This will be something that will be more commonplace. And if you draw a line over the last decade of where this sport is going, that doesn't seem like that's ludicrous. That's where we're heading. And so as special as what tonight was, and it was, I think we will see a lot more tonights down the road.
One more. Another quick one for Izzy. You broke the service aces record tonight. I guess, how does that feel? And, did you even notice it amid everything?
Not really. I mean, it's fun to hear after the fact, but we got to keep going. There's a lot of season left, so a number's a number, but I'm looking for rings at the end of the day.
Kelly, real quick, I just want to kind of get your thoughts. Sage got her first action. I just kind of want to get your thoughts on what you saw and how you thought she played.
Yeah, it's a hey youngin, we're going to hold you out. The first time that you come out there is going to be played in front of a packed Fiserv Forum. She played well. She's been stringing together some good practices the past week or two, and carried it over into the match. Made some really nice defensive plays, handled some really tough serves, put in some good out-of-system balls. Got a little bit wonky with her serve, but for her first match. It was really good. I think she helped settle us down a little bit when she came in. It was a great first match for her. Thank you.